Hello guys, good morning. If this is your first time ever watching a video of mine, I just want to say, hey, I'm Tiffany Allen. I specialize in helping women stop waiting to lose the weight, stop waiting to look better, stop waiting to have it all together before they actually show up in their business so they can make sales now. Like, you do not have to wait. So, and I'm on a different phone today, and you can literally see every freaking pore in my face. And I say that because, that right there is something that might be stopping you. I don't say it to point it out because I don't want you to look, but I will say that right there is something that stops so many people, the way they look on camera. And you showing up on camera is a really good idea because when you put yourself out there on camera, when you put yourself out there on video, you allow people to see you. You allow people to feel your energy, to see you as you, to, especially when you're on live video, to see the mistakes you made, to see the flaws you have, to see that you're a real freaking human being. So I do have little notes that I made for you guys today because I like to go on tangents and get off track and go all over the place because I have so much to say. And I also want to say that too, that you may be like, I really want to show up, but like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to put out there. I don't know what people need to hear. And the thing is, you do. You know what people need to hear. You know what you want to say. You know what you want to do in your business, but there's something within you, that's stopping you from taking action, to taking full action into that. There's something within you. And that's why I made a post earlier this morning. There's a bunch of hawks that are flying around over there. Try not to look at them because they're pretty. But there's something within you. And that's why I made the post that I did earlier, because it's not you don't have a money mindset problem. You don't have a problem where you don't know how to market yourself. You don't have an issue or a problem where you don't know the how. And maybe you do, but it's so easy to Google it. It's so easy to figure it out. It's so easy to watch people and see what they're doing and mirror that. But it's not a money mindset problem. It's not a strategy problem. It's a you problem. And I'm not like trying to point out things within you. I'm not trying to make you feel worse than you already do, because you've already put so much pressure on yourself. But I'm trying to point it out that you have been spending so much time looking for different answers, and you maybe find a really great answer and then you don't stick with it. You don't stay consistent. You don't keep going. And the reason is because there's something within you. It's not an outside problem. It's not a strategy problem you need to figure out and solve or brainstorm or journal, make a whole plan about in your notebook. It's not that you need to do any of that. It's that you need to work on whatever is going on in here. And that's why when I really sat down and I wanted to get more clear on my niche, I wanted to get like more specific of like, what is actually holding people back? What is actually, because, I work with so many different clients and I have my own experience. And I've seen so many different things, but it all comes back to the image that you have of yourself, like how you see yourself. And we're so worried about how other people are going to see us. And really that's a reflection of like how we see ourselves. Because when you're confident in yourself, you're confident in your body, you're confident in your mind, it all comes together. And you show up differently, and you show up in a way that you don't care what other people think. You don't care if people say no. You don't care if people reject you. You don't care if people laugh at you, because you show up regardless, because you believe in you. So that isn't even anything I wanted to say today, but that's something I had to say today. So there you go. Anyway, so if you've ever felt the need to lose weight or look prettier or change something about yourself before you show up, I just want you to say me in the comments if this is resonating. If you have felt like, oh, I need to lose that 10 to 20 pounds before I get on video. There's no way I could get on video now. Or you're like, oh, I can't go on video right now. I need to get stuff done. I need to start showing up. I need to do that live video I tell myself I'm going to do all the time, every week, every month, every day. But I need to do my makeup and I need to get all prim and proper and prepped before I get on video, and I don't have the time. Life's busy, right? So how many of you does that resonate with? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you have a self-conscious, mindset around your teeth. Maybe you have a self-conscious mindset around, maybe you have more wrinkles than you wish you did. Maybe you got a crappy haircut and you're like, maybe you cut it yourself, and you're like, I don't like my hair. I need to wait until my hair grows out. These are excuses. And not the excuses of like, you're just making excuses and you're being lazy. These are excuses that we don't even realize that are excuses. These are excuses we don't even realize we are putting on ourselves and holding ourselves back with, because they seem legit. Because we feel them. They're dealing with our emotions. And they make us feel like, no, insecure, unsafe. And it's crazy and this is going to be a long video, dude, because I have a lot to say today. I didn't think I did, but whatever. But it's crazy how when you change your mind, everything changes. And I'll say that from my own experience, because I have dealt with this. I have struggled so hard with this in the very beginning. Now I can go on live video and I'm like, I don't care if my pores are showing. I don't care if I look amazing. I don't care. I don't care if I've gained 10 pounds, after I had a 50-pound weight loss, whatever. But I can still show up because I've changed my mind and I've changed the way that I see myself. And I will say that it's crazy to look back. When I first started getting into working out, because like we had PE in school, but no one taught you like how to take care of your body as an adult and how to like work out. It was something that I had to like learn and navigate myself. And thank God for Beachbody, because it literally, you have a personal trainer right there. And I still use it to this day and I love it. But I had to navigate that myself, and I didn't know, I knew that I wanted to work on my body a long time ago. I knew that I wanted to change things. I knew I wanted to improve things, and I knew I wanted to better myself, and I knew I wanted to, do all of this. And when I started working out, it was like the first week. I just remember my whole mindset shifting. There was still work to do, on myself, my self-image and my insecurities and my confidence and my esteem and my past and my experiences and all of that. Yes. But when I started working out my mind, I started working on my mind, and I got myself to a point where I worked on my mind to where I could work out. I started shifting. Like, that's where everything started. That's where like the mindset work I was doing on myself, it was crazy. Like I started, I got myself to a point where I could work out. And then, I started working out. And then I started working on my mind. I started journaling. I started having a morning routine. I started doing all of these little tiny baby things. And then everything started shifting. And I didn't have to, and this is why I'm like going to be really like talking big about do not wait before the weight comes off. Like, do not wait for the weight. Do not wait to lose the weight. Because for me, everything in my life, literally, I had spent years and years and years trying to lose weight. But the minute I shifted my mind, everything changed. Because I started to see myself differently. I started to experience myself differently. I started to show up in the world differently. I started to show up in my business differently. I started to change everything in my life and shift everything that didn't fit with the version of myself I wanted to be. And it's freaking nuts, dude. Because and it's crazy how different you can look on different technology, by the way. That is also why you should stop worrying about what you look like and stop worrying about all these little BS things that are stopping you from getting on video and stopping you from like marketing your business, because there's so little and no one actually cares about it. Because I can guarantee if you resonate with anything that I've said, you don't care about this. You don't care about my pores showing. You don't care about what I'm wearing. You don't care about what's in the background. You don't care about all of that because you care about what I'm saying and it's resonating. The same thing is going to happen with your clients. What your clients have to say or what you have to say to your clients, to your audience, they're going to resonate with that. And the whole goal here is to get you to a place where you can show up and say all of that. So that being said, everything in my life literally shifted before I even lost the weight. Like, the weight came after everything. I thought I needed to lose the weight. I thought I needed to become this better person before, this better looking person, this better prim and proper person, this better perfected person, before anything in my life could change. But literally, before I lost the weight, everything in my life changed. I literally feel like I found the love of my life. I know I did. I love him so much. And it's the healthiest, one of the healthiest relationships I've ever been in. And he's so great to me. And I'm loved in a way that I never thought possible, right? I do not feel like if we met like, you know, before I started to work on my mind, I don't think this would have worked, because we were in two different places. Yes. But because I wouldn't have had the confidence to like put myself out there and like allow myself to meet someone, you know, because I spent like 5 years single. So it wasn't even a thing I wanted, because I got myself to a place, and I'm not even saying anything of my notes for you guys, but whatever. I got myself to a place where I felt happy with myself. And that was one of the best things I could have done. I got myself to a place before anything changed where I was happy with myself, and that's what made the things happen. That's what made change. So, well, like I was saying, I literally found the love of my life. I really feel like I did. And I know I did. He's great. We're great. We communicate. There's so many great things about our relationship. And then I moved to a new town. I freaking, you know, I started a business before I lost the weight. You know, I felt like, you know, oh my gosh, I can't start a business. I have to lose weight and I have to become this person, this version of myself before I actually do it. No, you become the person that you want to be by doing it. It doesn't just happen. You don't just get all perfect and everything, you lose the weight and everything comes together before you actually show up. It comes together because you show up. And so, also that being said, I started going on live before I lost the weight. I started making money before I lost the weight. And if this is just an example to you, people were literally paying me $1,500 to work with me while I was marketing myself, and the marketing that they were watching was me in my old 1996 van talking about confidence and talking about showing up. It didn't matter that I was in some old freaking rusty blue van. It didn't matter that my kid was in the background. It didn't matter that I was 50 to 60 pounds heavier then. It didn't matter that all of this wasn't perfect yet. What mattered is that I showed up and I had something to say. I had something to give to people. I had tools that would literally change people's lives. And that's where you need to show up. That is what you need to show up with. You need to let everything else go. Stop worrying about looking perfect. Stop waiting to have your makeup and your hair done before you go live. Stop waiting to lose the weight and feel better. You know, stop waiting to think that you need to change who you are and feel confident before you actually show up. Because showing up and the doing is what's going to change everything for you. It's not waiting around. It's not losing 50 pounds. It's not finding the love of your life. It's not doing all of this first before your life changes. It's you deciding that you're going to change your life and you're going to show up for it. It's you deciding that you're going to do something different. It's you deciding that you have been telling yourself that you're going to go on that video, do that live, make that reel, make that TikTok, whatever, make that YouTube channel and those YouTube videos. It's you deciding, instead of saying that, instead of planning it, instead of brainstorming, instead of prepping all of the background stuff, it's you making that video today. It's you making that reel today. It's you going live today. You know what's really awesome about this is I'm going to make this video, then I'm going to prep it, and I'm going to edit it, and I'm not going to edit this video. I'm going to take chunks of it, and I'm going to make it into a bunch of different videos. It's that simple. And then I'm going to show up in different ways, and people are going to see me, you know? So anyway, I'm going to look at my notes and make sure I haven't said anything really that I planned to say. It came out of me, and everything that was meant to come out was meant to come out. I'm not upset with it. But I just want to read my notes and make sure that I said everything I didn't say anything that I planned to say, but I said everything from my heart, and that's what's important. So I want you to drop a me in the comments if any of this resonated. I want you to tell me what's going on. If you don't feel comfortable saying that and putting it into a public profiles, comments, because this is public, and, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, message me. Let's chat about it. Let's open the conversation, because I want to normalize this. Because you know what? One of the number one unspoken struggles that hold women entrepreneurs back in their business and keep them from showing up, it's their weight. It's their self-image. No one's talking about it because it feels vulnerable, because it feels heavy, because it feels like, oh my gosh, this is scary, and it's heavy, and it's a lot, and it feels uncomfortable, and we think that we're the only ones struggling with that. We think we're alone in that. Meanwhile, if everyone, I literally say this all the time, if everyone just sat in a circle and we were like, you have to 100% be honest with how you feel, and you have to talk about it, and you have to tell us about it, and everyone went around the circle and they were honest, you know what they would say? They would say exactly this. This is why I speak about this. This is why I want to talk about it. This is why I built my business around it, because I want to talk about the things that you're struggling in your head that no one's talking about, because that you think and they think everyone is the only one struggling with it and no one talks about it. But it's true. Like, whether or not people are showing up or not, they're still struggling with it. There's just a point that you have to get yourself to, that you're like, screw how I feel, screw how I look, screw all of this, screw waiting around, screw waiting for the weight to drop off, screw everything. I want to create what I want now, and I don't want to wait anymore. And I'm not going to wait to be perfect, and I'm not going to wait to be prim and proper. I'm not going to wait till everything in my background or I have a perfect space or everything's perfect. I'm just going to show up now, the way that I am now, and I'm going to do it now. And that's the point you have to get yourself to. That's why I created this video, because I want to help you get yourself to that point, to a point where you're like, screw it. If she was making $1,500 in a 1996 van, if she was, growing her business and going on live, even when she was 50 pounds heavier, if she, this is what I went through. I want you to look at me. This is why I show up. I want you to look at me and look at this, my story and my experience, and see it for what it is. I want you to see this, and I want you to feel like I can too, because I want you to ask yourself, those people that you follow all the time, those people that you're like, yeah, girl, and you look for their next post, and you feel inspired, and you feel motivated, and you feel excited about their content, and you're like living vicariously through their content. I want you to ask yourself, are they perfect? Are they prim? Are they proper? Do they have it all together? No, probably not. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating. Probably not. Like, who do you follow? Why do you follow them? It's probably because they're real, they're raw, they're relatable, and you can see yourself in them. So you have to realize there's people out there that when you're sharing your messy, when you're sharing your real, when you're sharing your raw, when you're sharing the ways that you want to be, and you're saying things you want to say, and you're putting things out there in the world, in your business, and you're putting yourself out there, and you're saying it all. You're not hiding. You're not, shrinking. You're being you, and you're putting yourself out there. You have to realize that just like you following those people, following vicariously, living vicariously through them, and loving everything they're saying and everything that they are, people are going to feel the same about you. They don't care if you have a perfect background. They don't care if you have perfect lighting. They don't care if you're in an old van. They don't care if you don't have service and you have to go to town and sit in your car and do the live videos and sessions, whatever. They don't care. I say all of this because I've lived through it. I've literally had proof that they don't care. Okay? And the people that care, and the people that judge, and the people that put you down and make you feel crappy, they do not matter anyway. People matter, yes, but they don't matter in this business adventure you are on. They don't matter in this life adventure, this life experience, this future version of yourself. They do not matter. They are not in this experience with you. And the cool thing about social media is if anyone has negative things to say or judgment to say, you can block them. If you have anyone that's in your family or friends or people that will judge you and laugh at you and that is holding you back, block them. It is that simple. someone that doesn't support you probably isn't a good, person to keep around, whatever. So I'm going to look at my notes and make sure I'm saying everything I want to say to you guys. So also, the longer, I do want to say this because it's very, very freaking true. The longer you wait for everything to be perfect, the longer you wait to lose the weight, the longer you wait for your life to be better, the longer you wait for that area in your house you're going to make into your live video or video, background, office, whatever. The longer you wait to have better internet, the longer you wait to have it all together, the longer you reinforce that you're not good enough to do this. Because the reason that you're not doing this, the reason you're using those things to be an excuse of why you can't make this happen is only going to, the reason behind that is because there's something within you that doesn't feel good enough to do this, that doesn't feel capable, that doesn't feel worthy of this. That's why. That's why I literally created a little mini course a long time ago about sacred self-worth. Because every session I've ever had, every experience I've ever had, every person I've ever talked to, when I can help them get to the root core of why are you struggling so freaking hard, it's self-worth. It has everything to do with feeling good enough and self-worth and feeling worthy of what you want and feeling capable and believing in yourself to be good enough to have what you want. It comes down to that. Whether it's different experiences, whatever, that is the common denominator. That is the root cause majority of the time. Maybe it's you don't know, I don't know, but when you're struggling so hard and you're day after day struggling and you're wondering why you're struggling and you know that you're struggling and you see yourself holding yourself back, but you're still struggling, the root cause is, your self-worth. But it's so much more than just saying, oh, it's my self-worth, I don't feel good enough. It's tapping into that, diving into that, exploring that, and figuring out why, figuring out what experiences and what things happen to you and sometimes those things, you think you know what those things are, but there's something random that you never expected really affected you. And when you become aware of it, you tap into that, you explore it, and you're like, wow, I never knew that affected me that bad. Everything changes. And that's what I'm here to do, is help people tap into that and explore that and release that and rewire and reprogram who they are and how they see themselves, because you can literally create who you want to be. It all starts with your mind. So anyway, what I wanted to say was the reason for you not showing up and all these excuses that you're saying of why this can't work and why you can't show up and why you can't get on video is simply because there's something connected with your self-worth. Every time, every day, every week, every time you tell yourself that you're going to show up finally and you're going to finally get yourself out there and you don't show up, you're reinforcing to yourself and your mind and your brain and your body and your nervous system and all of that you aren't good enough. Because your mind, your subconscious mind, your brain, your nervous system, your body believes everything you tell it. So if you're telling yourself, tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to finally go all in. I'm going to spend the whole weekend. And this is something I've done before. This is something I talk to clients and they've done before. But, if you're saying, this weekend, I'm going to prep everything. I'm going to brainstorm. I'm going to plan. I'm going to put everything together. And then on Monday morning, I'm going to go full force into my business and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to show up on video and I'm going to do that live I've been telling myself I'm going to do. And when you don't, that subconscious programming, those belief systems, that way you see yourself, your self-image says, you know what? I do have a subconsciously, right? I do have that belief that I'm not good enough. And now I'm telling myself I'm going to do something and I just can't get myself to do it. So we're not doing it today. And what do you think your belief systems do? What do you think your nervous system does? It lacks trust. It kills your self-trust. It kills your confidence. It kills your belief in yourself. Because you're telling yourself you're going to do something. You're prepping and planning and preparing for yourself to do that. And when you don't do that, you're let down again. And then the lack of self-worth you have, the lack of confidence, it's all reinforced over and over again every time you plan and don't show up. So then you get sucked into this freaking hole. And that's probably what it feels like, right? Let me know in the comments if this is resonating. Let me know in messages, DM me and tell me this resonated. But you're sucked into that freaking hole. And that's what I have always called for years and years and years, the self-sabotage cycle. And it's a spiral, the self-sabotage spiral cycle, whatever. Because you may get pumped up, you may get motivated, you may get ready, you may get prepared, you may get prepped and everything. And then the minute you don't show up for that, you get into that spiral. You go down into that cycle. And then you get motivated by a video like this, or because you're not doing the deep work. That's why, like, I work with people one-on-one, because the deep work matters. I can get on video all day, and you can watch videos all day, and you can get inspired and scroll on TikTok and get motivated and look at before and after pictures and look at businesses that started from the ground, the bottom, rock bottom all the way, and now they're making millions. You can get inspired, and you can get motivated, and you can get pumped up. And if you aren't doing the inner work, you're going to get caught in that cycle, because motivation and inspiration and excitement doesn't last. And it doesn't last because there's subconscious things that are stopping it from lasting within you. Your self-image, your confidence, your belief systems, your trust, your nervous system. So every time you get inspired, and every time you get motivated, every time you get pumped up by watching a video or like just sitting and maybe brainstorming with people and brainstorming with AI, and you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. You know why in a couple days you aren't still showing up? You know why in a couple days you planned and prepped and brainstormed everything, and then you told yourself you're going to show up and you don't show up? Because there's certain things lingering in the background of your mind, in your nervous system, in your body, in your belief system, in your subconscious mind, that isn't in alignment with what you want, because you don't feel worthy of what you want. You don't feel good enough for what you want. And so every time you get motivated and you get excited and you get pumped up, you feel that in the moment, but it's not long lasting. But the way that we change this is we reprogram your subconscious mind. We reprogram your nervous system. We reset everything within you to see yourself in a different light, to see yourself in a different version, to see yourself as the person that you truly are, because you are that already. It's just a bunch of BS belief systems and negative emotions and negative experiences that have been piled on over your last how many years of life that have caused you to see yourself in a certain way that isn't the true you. So is this resonating? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. I'm just speaking. Okay, so yeah, businesses. I also want to say businesses are built in the now energy. Businesses are built today. They're not in the someday energy. They're not tomorrow. They're not next week. They're not next month. You need to do something today. I'll say that. You need to do something today. We're not waiting until tomorrow. We're not waiting for next month, May 1st. We're not waiting until next Monday. We're not waiting until Friday. We're not waiting until the weekend to finally get everything ready. We're not waiting. We're going to show up today. So if I could tell you to do anything that would probably move the needle more than anything ever could, you're going to create a piece of content today and you're going to post it. You're going to get on video. So take that and run with it. Something's going to change with that. And guess what? When you take little steps like that, when you make the post, when you do the short little video, when you record that 3-minute video and you post it, your self-confidence, your self-trust, your belief in yourself is going to grow. And it might not be automatically like reset and where you're full in your confidence and you just fly away with it, because you didn't beat yourself up and you didn't put yourself down and you didn't create a lack of confidence and a lack of self-esteem and a lack of self-trust in one day. It didn't happen in one day. It happened over time. So sometimes when you're doing the conscious work and you're pushing yourself and you're taking action, sometimes it's not going to be you just do one thing and everything changes. That's why the subconscious programming, it can make all of this happen way faster. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to recreate yourself. So anyway, people aren't looking for perfect either. They're not looking for perfect. They're looking for real, raw, you being human. That's why I made the post yesterday that I made talking about AI. People are going to be real tempted. And this is why you're going to be real tempted. If you've been trying to grow a business and you've been trying to write and you've been trying to create and you've been trying to do all these things, you're going to feel real tempted to use AI to replace yourself. You're going to feel real tempted to have AI do all the work for you. Because guess what this is doing? You haven't showed up for a while, for a long time, in the way that you want to show up, because you're lacking confidence. You have a broken self-image. You feel stuck. You don't feel good enough. You don't feel worthy. So you haven't been showing up. You haven't been creating. And so AI comes in and you feel like it's going to make everything happen. You're finally going to just copy and paste and post the things it says to do and do everything and you know, write the script down that it gives you and just allow AI to run your business. Because guess what? It's taking the pressure off of yourself. It's taking the pressure off of you being you. It's taking the pressure off of you speaking your truth. It's taking the pressure off of you putting yourself out there. And you know what this does? You can show up with AI. You can allow AI to write your content. You can allow AI to write your comments. You can allow AI to write your messages. You can allow AI to write your scripts of everything you want to create. You can allow AI to create your offers and your pricing and everything and literally create you an entirely outlined business. You just have to plug and play. You can do all of that. But guess what AI is going to do? It's going to take your humanness away. It's going to take who you are away. It's never going to build your confidence. It's never going to build your self-trust. It's never going to build your self-esteem. It's never going to build your self-image because it's not you. And who cares if anyone in your audience knows? Because guess what? Energy's real. You know. You know that you're not putting yourself out there. You know you're not letting yourself be yourself. You know that you're letting AI technology run the business. You know. And I literally see it all over. You see it all over because it's duplicatable. It's the same. It's a computer. So you're probably reading comments on social media, which is really sad and really scary because I feel like it's going to happen so much that we're maybe not going to be able to know the difference. But honestly, we do. You will. Because if you look and you read comments and you read posts and you read all that and you everything, you're going to see that it sounds like a computer. It doesn't sound like a real person. And I think that's why video is going to be really amazing. And I'm sure eventually people are going to be able to take an image of themselves and have a AI, you know, video of themselves talking. So it makes it so easy to do and so fake. And I think that's why video and you getting on video is going to be really awesome because I think people are bypassing the written stuff for the majority of the time because they think, oh, what if this is AI? What if this isn't even this real person? And why it's going to be really great to get on video is because you can't replicate that. You know, you see the pictures of AI, they're missing fingers and stuff. Like AI can't do what we do. AI can't do what you do. AI can't speak your truth like you can. AI can't put emotion into words and energy into words like you can. And I think there's really something amazing about getting on video and showing your emotion and your energy and you. But I also think there's something really amazing about written posts too. Written posts where your energy is in them. Not that it's not copy and paste. Because you can copy and paste it, nothing. But energy is real. When you can put your energy into the words as you're typing them, you can't even type as fast as you're feeling them, and you're just putting it out there, and you're putting the real you out there. It's something. It's crazy. It's amazing. And you have to build your self-image and your self-confidence and your self-trust and work on your mind first before you can actually allow yourself to do that. And you can do that. You can get a point of that because there was a point in my life where I was so scared to share myself. I grew up as a shy girl for the majority of my life. I felt stuck the majority of my life. I felt like the person that wanted to shrink and wanted to stay small the majority of my life. I felt like the fat person. I felt like this person that couldn't have anything that I wanted. This person that was just destined for shitty, toxic relationships. This person that was just stuck and couldn't move forward. So that self-image of myself put me into negative relationships and toxic relationships. That put me into negative toxic behaviors. That put me into overeating. That put me into, you know, holding myself back and not going for what I want and not building a business and hiding in the background and trying to make it work, but planning and prepping and never actually showing up. That put me into all of that because there was a mindset thing here. There was a self-image, the way I saw myself. So when you change the way you see yourself, you don't have to lose weight. You don't have to, hold back anymore. Like you will go after for what you want in life, and you will leave the crappy relationships, and you will show up on video despite what you look like or how you feel. Like you will just decide there are actions you need to take to change your life the way you want it to be and create the life you want it, how you want it. I can't talk today. And there's things that you need to do and there's things that you need to change. And when you have the mindset and the difference in self-image and an improved self-image and an improved, self-confidence, you're going to be able to do all of that. It's going to come effortless. It's going to become easy. That's what I'm saying. Like, business can be hard. It can feel heavy. Losing weight can feel heavy. It can be hard. It can feel like nothing's changing. It can feel, changing your life and improving your life and improving yourself. It can feel like nothing's changing because you're stuck in the day in, day out, day after day. We don't see the changes in one day. The change doesn't happen with you hiding and shrinking. The change happens with you deciding there is something that you need to do today. There's some type of action that you can take today, and you realizing you don't have to wait for anything else to change before you take that action. It's time to take that action, okay? So, your confidence doesn't grow by you doing, or your confidence grows by doing. It doesn't grow by changing your looks. It doesn't grow by changing anything about yourself or your body. It doesn't grow by changing anything about yourself. It grows by you literally showing up and taking action. That's what I was saying earlier, is that, I was like hoping I would lose the weight, and I was hoping all these things in my life would change. And the minute I started working out, and the minute I started showing up in my business, my version of myself in my mind changed. And nothing else had changed. It was just, I decided to show up and decide I was worthy enough for it. So it's also you deciding. The face, the body, I'm just reading my notes now because I went on a tangent everywhere. The face, your body, your life, all of it. Now, the way it is now. Before you lose the weight, before you change your hair, before you go to the dentist, before you put on that makeup, before you have the perfect background, before you have the better Wi-Fi signal, before you have all of this stuff, you are worthy of success now. You are worthy of happiness now. You are worthy of it all now. And there is not a freaking thing that you need to change except for one thing. One thing, I will say that. There is one thing that you need to change, and it's the way you see yourself. Because you are not a before photo. You are not a before and after. You are not a person that's ever going to be expected to be perfect. You showing up now and you doing something to better yourself now, better your mind, shift your thinking, all of that is what needs to happen, and that is what gets the whole ball rolling. So if you are feeling stuck in your business, feeling stuck in your life, feeling stuck on your weight loss journey, feeling stuck in you lack self-confidence, you lack, self-esteem, your self-image is busted, like that all of the things that you want in your life and feeling held back by all of that is simply because of the way you see yourself, and this is all resonating, I want you to message me. And I want you to message me ready. Because I think taking a tiny first step can change everything. And it doesn't mean you have to sign up for a program or anything. But I would love to offer you a free call. And I would love to get on a call with you. And I would love to chat with you. And I would love to get inside your mind. And I would love to see where you are. And I would love to hear about your vision. And I would love to hear about your goals. And I would love to hear about what you feel like is stopping you and what has, caused you to struggle. I would love to get inside your mind with you. And I would love to help you get a quick shift. Because sometimes that's all it takes is a 15-minute call where you talk about your struggles and you talk about your vision and you talk about what you want and you talk about yourself for a little bit and you get outside of your head and you have someone else to support you in that and hold you and love you and talk to you and give you advice, someone that's been there. And sometimes that's all it takes and everything shifts. I literally have messages from so many women that are like, that 15-minute phone call, I never bought anything from you, but that 15-minute phone call literally changed my life and changed the trajectory of my business and my life. So I want to offer you a 15-minute free call. If that sounds interesting to you, if that sounds something like if that feels like you're curious about it, if that feels like, heck yeah, that's what I want you to message me ready. And I'm going to also drop the link in the comments and you guys can book one if you want one. But I love you guys. I hope this video helped you in some way. I'll talk to you later.